'Cause Good morning, beloveds. Good morning. I think this is the first time, es la primera vez, that our welcoming bell does not silence us. So there must be some amazing energía, some amazing energy this morning, and we welcome it. Bienvenidos a la Congregación Unitariana Universalista de Asheville. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Asheville. Visitante o feligres, visitor or member, en línea o en el santuario, online or on site. Queremos que sepa, we want you to know, que quien quiera que seas, whoever you are, venga de donde venga, wherever you come from, a quien quiera que ame, whoever you love. Estés donde estés, en el viaje de explorar quién eres, wherever you are on the journey of becoming, eres valioso y digne de amor. You are valuable and worthy of love. Eres bienvenida aquí. You are welcome here. And as we prepare to engage in faith formation this morning, I want to welcome our coming of age youth and their mentors who are in service with us this morning. And I also want to share a brief excerpt from a call to worship that one of my colleagues, Reverend Kim Wildowski, wrote last night. And she wrote, "We gather this morning after our country filled the streets with resistance and pride. We gathered with fear, some of us, and an unwillingness to relinquish what we know is good and right and true. Praise the tired feet and sore backs. Praise the fingers marked with marker stains, the hands that held and raised signs." And here is one of those signs. Praise those sign holders, those creatives, those people in costume that made us giggle sometimes. Praise the voices that shouted and cheered and sang. Praise for the people you walked and, yes, rolled with, because there were wheelchairs and other wheeled vehicles with us. Praise for the power of the gathered body, the elder who has done this way too many times, the child learning what it means to be a citizen, the parent grieving the future they did not dream of. Praise for the land that held us all, that has grown flowers out of tears, that teaches us how to root, that reminds us to rise and push and bloom again and again and again. And so here we gather this morning And we gather in gratitude for our worship team today, our choir, Dr. Les at the piano, Simon Jacobs, our AV tech, and everyone, ushers, greeters, coffee hour baristas, and all of those that keep this place buzzing. We are grateful. This place is made sacred with your presence. That's what brings sacredness to our gathering. So now let us prepare for worship. I invite you to silence your devices so that we may prepare to receive the gift of our centering music.
Thank you for that. It was beautiful. This morning, I would like to ask Kingston to come up and help me light the chalice. Light that. Oh. Thank you, Kingston. The words for our chalice lighting are from With Dirt on Our Hands by Reverend David Breeden. Come into this moment as if stepping into a garden at dawn, quiet, tender, open to what may grow. Let compassion be the flower we bend toward. We return as if returning to the soil, hands in the dirt, willing to tend to what needs tending. Here, today, we gather to remember that the most delicate blooms require daily care, that attention is the water of love, that we are still learning how to care. Come, let us begin again in love, tending the garden of the heart and the heart of compassion. So please rise in body and spirit to sing with us our opening hymn, number 1010, We Give Thanks.
And indeed, we do give thanks for this precious day. And we're going to move into the part of our service where we share A Time for All Ages. Does anyone remember this book? Where did we see that? You don't remember it? Okay, some of you don't, and that's okay. Do you remember it? When did you see it? Okay, last Sunday, we had a worship service where we were reminded that in times of challenge, we need to open our hearts and our minds to friendship and humor. And so the book was only referred to, but this is a book that I used to share with my children. Steve and I used to share this with our girls, and this was one of our favorite stories. And one of the things in the story is there's a hippo. Yes, there are two hippos actually, George and Martha. And there's something in the story. I want you to tell me what color it is. Who knows what the color of split pea soup is? Have any of you ever had that? Gray. Gray. It could be gray. Okay, well, we'll find out if the author agrees. So this story is about two best friends named George and Martha. And Martha loved making soup. Sometimes, you don't like soup? Oh man, in the winter, soup is like the very best. Who likes soup in the winter? You might grow to like soup in the winter. So Martha was proud of her soup, and sometimes Martha cooked all day long pots and pots of split pea soup. And who do you think, I'm going to cue you in for that later, okay? Later when I do this, will you say, ew? Okay, nice and loud. Okay, so who do you think she shared her split pea soup with? With her hippo friend, George. But guess what George's response was to split pea soup? Can you say, ew? Say, ew, really loud. Ew! But do you think he told his friend Martha that he thought split pea soup was ew? Do you think he told her? No, he didn't tell her. It was hard because Martha just loved to make split pea soup. So what do you think he did? What do you think he ate it? Any other thoughts? What do you think?
Hid it in his shoes.
Oh, somebody gave it away. So he didn't have the heart to tell her, but he would put it in his loafers. And, Martha was in the kitchen, and she saw George pour the soup in the loafer. So when she came back to the table, she said, George, how do you expect to walk home with your loafers full of soup? And he looked at her and he said, uh-oh, you saw me. And Martha said, I did. Why didn't you tell me that you didn't like split pea soup? And George said, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And Martha said, that's silly, George. Friends should tell each other the truth. Actually, I don't really care for split pea soup, but I love to cook it. And so from now on, you won't have to eat any more split pea soup. Yay, said George. And then Martha asked, do you like chocolate chip cookies? And what do you think George said? Yes, and Martha said, great, let's go make some chocolate chip cookies together. And that's our story for this morning. And I wonder where you may have seen yourself in that story, whether you like split pea soup or not. And I wonder when we think about compassion, when the compassionate thing is not to say something, and when the compassionate thing is to say what must be said. And that is our time for all ages this morning. Thank you for listening, and thank you for the I don't like it. And now we will sing our children to their classes. And if you are visiting with us, please feel free to come to Sandberg Hall, meet the teachers, and know where your children will be. Let us sing our children to their classes. Tough crowd this morning. And as always, I invite you to look around this space, to notice the empty chairs, because we are a community dedicated to faith formation, and we have adults that give of their time and their talent to nurture our children. And for that, we are deeply, deeply grateful. And because we are a community of gratitude and a community of care, every time we gather, we make space for all that we bring with us on any given Sunday. The joys, the challenges, the struggle, the hopes. And we make time to celebrate and honor those joys and concerns. So this morning, we will begin with a meditation, and we will sing that meditation together. And so you do not have to rise in body or spirit. I invite you to just breathe gently, just breathe into this space, lower your gaze or close your eyes. Feel the ground underneath your feet. Feel the weight of your body on your seat. Feel your back against the back of the pew. And let us engage in a loving kindness meditation together. moment of silence together. And now is the time in our service where we engage in our ritual of the water and the stones. When we come together as a community, we make space for this time to be together, and we add salt to the water to represent the reality of sorrow and grief and loss in our lives. And alongside that salty water, we have petals that represent the beauty and the joy and the love that also exists alongside those things that bring us sorrow. And so now I invite you to come forward on the sides, come through the sides, and pick a stone that you might put into our shared bowl, and then walk back through the center. And if anyone would like for a stone to be placed for them, just raise your hand and we will do so. And if anybody is in need of a hug, here we are, ready to give you a hug. Let our ritual begin. If you added a stone for a joy in your heart, know that this community rejoices with you. If you added a stone for a sorrow or a loss, know that we hold you in love and care. And we will add a final stone to our bowl for those at home and those in our community not with us, together or apart. We are one and we are loved.
The reading that Reverend Claudia provided for us today is UU Theology and Compassion by Reverend Michelle Collins. At the heart of Universalist theology is a radical and enduring claim that no one is beyond the reach of love, and that divine grace extends to all. This belief in universal salvation emerged not as a soft-hearted alternative to hellfire, but as a bold theological confrontation with cruelty and fear. Early Universalists rejected the idea of a God who would condemn anyone eternally, and insisted instead on a God whose nature is love itself. This was a theological revolution grounded in compassion, one that insisted every person is worthy, not because they earn it, but because they are. For Unitarian Universalists today, this legacy invites us to practice a compassion that is not selective or conditional, but wide enough to include the flawed, the difficult, and even those we struggle to understand. What might it mean to let compassion guide our view of humanity as whole and holy, even when our instincts would rather close the door?
Trouble.
Thank you. Thank you. Music and song are such an important part of worship and of the time that we share together, not just listening and singing, but just feeling the emotions that arise as our choir sings. Thank you so much. Our reading this morning ended with the question, what might it mean to let compassion guide our view of humanity as whole and holy, even when our instincts would rather close the door? This is a relevant question today as we explore the concept of cultivating compassion in a deeply polarized nation. As we witness cruel leadership and its thugs dismantling government institutions and the democratic process, how do we stay grounded in love and compassion? I don't know about you, but I personally feel deep anger and a lot of despair as I witness the values and principles of this country, the values and principles that they've aspired to, that we've aspired to as a country, being crushed and disregarded. If I'm honest, I feel animosity towards those who support these cruel, hurtful actions. And so I've been wondering a lot about how to remain grounded in love and compassion when I do not feel like opening my heart to do so, while also recognizing that those feelings don't make me a bad person. They just affirm that I'm human and that I have a complexity of responses to what happens in the world around me. And that's why I find engaging in spiritual practices helpful, because they are tools that not only ground us, but they call us back to our values and aspirations as Unitarian Universalists. And this month we launched a pilot program called Practice Matters in Adult Faith Formation. And I discovered during our first gathering that I wasn't alone in these feelings, that many of us are looking for ways to ground ourselves as we figure out how to engage with others, especially those who support the current administration. How do we keep our values and love at the center while also embracing the reality of what we're feeling? Spiritual practices such as meditation, gratitude journaling, and observing the Sabbath can be helpful alongside time with beloveds, friends, and community members, including gatherings like this, where we take a break from the busyness of life, where we take a break from all of these things that we're feeling, and we are present to each other and present to our spirits, to our feelings, and the things that we bring as we enter this space. The spiritual practice that we engaged in this month is called loving kindness meditation, or metta bhavana, from the ancient Hindu words metta, which means love, friendliness, kindness, and bhavana, which means development, cultivation. This practice is from the Buddhist tradition. And when speaking about metta, Buddhist monk Bhikkhu Bodhi emphasizes that in the teachings of the Buddha, love and compassion are regarded as the foundation of ethics, as well as right speech and right action. Practices such as metta help push back against constricting emotions such as resentment, ill will, anger, and callous indifference. He quotes the 5th century meditation text, the Visuddhimagga, which explains loving kindness as the wish to promote welfare for all beings, and compassion as the feeling of empathy that arises when we witness or acknowledge the suffering of others. He goes one step further to remind us that spirituality and social engagement cannot remain separate. It is essential to mobilize love and compassion as motives for pursuing social justice and a more harmonious world. Bodhi calls this conscientious compassion, grounded in solidarity, the ability to identify with others. He writes that this solidarity flows from the recognition that all human beings wish to be happy, well, and safe, that we all seek to be free from violence and suffering. And these teachings align with our pluralistic faith and our values and our call as Unitarian Universalists. We are a people oriented toward putting our faith in action, to honoring the worth and dignity of all people. The challenge in these times when there's so much cruelty and immorality in actions by our government, the challenge is, how do we define all? How do we avoid succumbing to a moral nihilism that presupposes that some human beings have no worth or deserve our hatred? We already live in a capitalist society that sees workers from a utilitarian perspective, disregarding their needs for happiness, wellness, and safety. And now we are facing technologies and AI that are replacing jobs, tracking personal data, and manipulating information in ways that are harmful to people. Now, I'm not saying that all technology is bad. We're streaming today. We use technology all the time. However, its unregulated use and the influence of tech billionaires who center profit over common good and human thriving is deeply troubling. How do we not harbor hatred and ill will in our hearts when there are people causing real harm through their callous indifference to the humanity of people in our communities? Now, meditation is not necessarily the answer, but it is an exploration, an invitation to explore letting go of hatred towards those causing harm or ill will, and channeling energy toward working together for the common good. Hatred is not going to lead us to the change that we need. We sang a version of metta as our centering meditation for joys and sorrows. It invited us to offer kindness to ourselves, to each other, and to all people. And as I was preparing for our Soul Matters session, I learned that the actual practice has more components. The practice, as described in the Visuddhimagga, invites us to meditate on feelings of loving kindness towards ourselves, toward a respected person, a beloved friend, a neutral person. And a neutral person would be someone that we do not know that is suffering. For example, someone in an ICE detention camp that we're saying, we hold you in love and care. That's that kind of meditation. And then the hostile person, or those we describe as enemies. And then ultimately all people and beings. The words of the meditation and their repetition are intended to evoke the feelings that correspond to the words. And honestly, when it comes to a hostile person or enemy, that might not be possible when we're doing the practice. And we might have to go back and begin with ourselves, with a respected person, a beloved person, and even a neutral person, and sit and rest with those feelings of the compassion that we are able to feel in our bodies and in our hearts and in our minds. And so it is not an easy practice, and it may not be the practice for everyone, and that is okay, because there are so many ways to practice. I know that in my own journey, I started with this practice, and the hostile person piece was really, really difficult. But I found that last year, and I may have shared this story before, last year when I was volunteering as an escort at the Planned Parenthood clinic, there were times when we would walk people from their car to the clinic door, times when we would be at the front of the clinic, and times where we would be at the exit of the clinic. And when you were at the front or the exit, sometimes there were protesters who were just saying vile things. And I know that when I started doing that, I would, whenever it was my turn to be where the protesters were, I would just feel this deep anger and this deep hatred. And it just felt bad to have so much anger and hatred in my body and in my mind. And I remembered my practice. And so I started doing the metta practice whenever I had to face the protesters. And it really, for me, it really made a difference, because I was able to move from hate to a little more curiosity about where they were coming from, because my deep convictions around reproductive justice have come from my own life experience and my own faith as a Unitarian Universalist. And I bet that their deep convictions against reproductive justice come from their own life experience and their deep convictions. And my metta practice is not going to change them, right? But what it does is it stops from me changing myself to become hateful because of my anger. And that to me, is the transformative possibility of what happens when we engage in spiritual practices. And so I am grateful for that struggle, and I am grateful for that learning, and because it is a practice, it took a long time to get there. And I still find situations in my life where I call myself in to a metta practice when I find myself feeling hatred and anger, because that's real. So this week, I invite you to explore what compassion means to you, to take a moment to think about what grounds you during these times and allows you to remain hopeful about the future. And maybe you're not feeling hopeful, and that is okay too, because many of us struggle to remain hopeful when we are constantly hearing bad news sprinkled with a few victories. But compassion towards ourselves is important as we figure out how to be and what to do in this moment. And don't forget that our pastoral care team and your ministers, Reverend Audette and myself, are trained to provide a listening presence. Our pastoral visitors have yellow name tags, and sometimes it really is helpful to just talk to someone about these things that we are feeling, because they are real. And our frustration and feelings of anger and hatred do not make us bad people. And as we think about compassion, I also invite you to remember that all of us are part of something larger, that every act of kindness creates ripples that we are likely not to see. The light of compassion, however small our flame, joins with countless others to push back in the darkness. And as someone commented this morning at the early worship, may we not only cultivate compassion, but also harvest compassion, because there is compassion in the world. And so I close with another wording for metta meditation as a blessing. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we live with ease. May we be free from suffering. May we be free from judgment. May we be free from ill will. May it be so, beloveds. Que así sea. And now we are going to sing a hymn that some of you got to practice last Sunday. And if you were not here, no worries, because we're going to sing it today, and we're going to sing all four verses because it's a beautiful hymn. So please rise in body or spirit. Our world is one world.
although all the hugs that I got today are going to be hard to beat ever again, this is part of probably my favorite part of the celebration, which is the work of our congregation. And right now, we're going to invite any visitors that are here to stand and introduce themselves. Give us your name, where you're from. We've got folks with microphones that are ready to, there we go.
Hello, I am James Gambrell, and I'm a visitor. I used to be with the community of beloved Asheville, and we used to come here a long time ago for get-togethers and social activist situations.
Welcome. Okay. Well, so that you know, Trevor, our connections coordinator, he's out here somewhere. He's probably out in the hallway. He's here to answer any questions you may have. Our announcements run as slides at the beginning of services. If you missed them, refer to Thursday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. If you don't receive the e-news and you would like to, ask an usher, or you can ask one of the other congregants how to sign up, and we'll be glad to get. Oh, there's Trevor. Hey, Trev. He's the guy who can help anybody with any question you might have. Thanks for coming in. But go ahead and ask an usher if you want to sign up for the e-news. You can also email us at information@uuasheville.org, and we'll be glad to get you on that list to get you the e-news each week. The special announcement today is that our UU Asheville teens will be serving up soup after the service, so it is Super Sunday. We welcome you to join us, and they'll be accepting donations for that. That helps to support the efforts that they have going on in the many trips that they take. Our community plate recipient this month is Veterans Healing Farm, dedicated to enhancing the mental, emotional, and physical well-being of our veterans, their families, and their caregivers. They accomplish this by creating a safe, peaceful environment that fosters healing and camaraderie. The farm fosters self-empowerment and peer support through the practice of organic farming, beekeeping, and continuing education workshops. The farm also is a great place for us to volunteer. The farm is located in Mills River and serves Henderson and Buncombe counties. You can donate by check. Be sure to write community plate into the memo line if that's where you would like it to go. And you can also donate online. The work of the ministries of this congregation are entirely supported by the generosity of our members and friends. We celebrate your generosity each Sunday with gorgeous music and thanks, and you make this all possible. We give thanks for you, and our offering will now be gratefully received. for the gifts of your presence, your time, your wisdom, and your resources. We're grateful.
Thanks again. That was beautiful. As we prepare to go forth into our day, I offer us these closing words, Practice the Growing by Reverend David Breeden. Go out into the world not to be perfect, but to practice, to be a practitioner of compassion. Wherever you go today, may you seed compassion. May your hands remember how to tend, and your heart how to return when compassion is hard. For no garden grows in one day, but they grow. Go in peace and practice growing. And now, let us bless each other on the journey with our song, Longtime Son.
May the longtime sun shine upon you, and all loves surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way home. May the longtime sun shine upon you, and all loves surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way home.
And once more, a deep thank you to our choir and to our worship associate, Joe Penno. Don't forget to support our youth on Super Sunday. And if you have the energy at 1 o'clock back here in the sanctuary, there is going to be a Know Your Rights training so that we can support our immigrant neighbors in knowing their rights. So go forth, enjoy each other, enjoy the coffee, and maybe we'll see you at 1 o'clock. Thank you.